Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news, PC hardware, all that good stuff. So it's happening a lot of stuff in CS, but at the moment, I just want to focus on yesterday's topic, 4070 Ti. The review embargo lift up. We saw a lot of reviews coming yesterday. Myself did manage to check Hardware Unbox, J2 Sense, and Gamers Nexus. Yeah, those three at the moment. Usually I watch also Pulse Hardware, I think. Yeah, Pulse Hardware. Usually it's the four main ones that I follow and watch all their reviews. And even from them, basically all the reviews are basically the same. It's basically 4080 12 gigabytes rebranded with the same perceived performance, so it struggles a little bit, especially on 4K rasterized performance regarding the 3090 Ti. It sometimes managed to get a little bit up, but it's like differences between 1-2% wise, so sometimes like half a dozen frames depending on the resolution. The only thing that it's better, of course, it's when you put the DLSS 3 on. Of course, it's a technology only available for the 40 series, and basically it puts fake frames on on what you are seeing to give you a perception that the game is smoother. Visually, it's more smooth, but in terms of performance, it's not a gain in performance, because if the game engine is not being rendered in the same at the same speed per se that the 4090 Ti in this case, which is the one that all intents and purposes is competing with inside the brand, because even with the new ones, the 7900 XT, it falls way below. That's why I think they had to pull the launch basically as a 4080 class card and rebranded as a 70 class card, even though this shouldn't have the Ti brand on it in terms of performance and how it deals with, and especially with the price. The price is way too high, $800. There is no kind of MSRP. There is the MSRP of 800, but there is no reference card from NVIDIA on this class. Because I think they know that this is not the best card, at least on the 70 class. This card doesn't perform badly. I want to make sure that I put out there. It doesn't perform badly, but for the price, performance-wise, it's not good. It's not even close to good. This should be, as a 70 class card, should be around the $500, maximum ceiling $650, that if that much, because at the especially all the 40 series, how they are priced and the performance that they bring, you don't see from generation, there is no uplift on price to performance. Basically it stagnates from the previous generation to this generation. Plus, you have the fact that the 30 series are still basically at MSRP from 2 years ago, which is for me it's unbelievable that even after all these supply chain issues, the inflation issues, for all we know, NVIDIA is holding on to a lot of stock from the 30 series. And they are tripping little by little still on this generation of the 30 generation, mainly because they want to maintain the prices high enough so they can justify the prices they are putting out for the 40 series. And of course the AMD, which is basically the only competition at the moment, they are kind of better value for the price that they are at, but still they have their own issues, especially the reference card from the 7900 XTX has its own issues at the moment. The reference card, at least, I will speak it in the next topic. but my overall broad theme here is, unless you have you don't mind spending huge amounts of money for a single component of a DIY PC, go ahead. I think at the moment, from the best one is the 4090. If you want to spend $2,000 basically, or around that value, for the top performance GPU there is available, go ahead. But if you want more value for the price that you are paying, still I think the AMD, the 6000 series offers better value than even from the 30 series from NVIDIA. I'm talking regarding North America prices here and market, because where I am, it's basically the Middle Eastern. It's the other way around. For the same competing GPUs, the AMD is I don't know, 30 or 40% more expensive. So for me, it compensates more to invest in a NVIDIA GPU. Especially the better ones at the moment for me, for my specific case, is the 30 series. It's funny because for the difference price, it's better for me to buy a 4070 Ti than the 3070, because they are basically the same price. And basically it's the same thing with the 3080 and the 3080 Ti, even though the difference gap, it's a little bit bigger, but even the difference, I can get it. I think I can justify just sticking up with the 3080 12 gigabytes than the 3080 Ti. But in the more important markets per se, or the more volume markets, which is the North American and to a certain extent European market, I think at the moment the 6000 series from AMD, it's a better one. They bring good performance, especially on 4K. They are still giving good performance on rasterized. But if you want fake frames, go ahead and buy a 40 series, because it's the only way to justify. It's the only way they try to justify the price they are putting on their graphics cards. It's the DLSS that supposedly brings more frames, and usually 30 to half of those frames are fake frames. They are not being rendered from the game engine, and they introduce, even with all the technologies, they introduce always some lag. I think DLSS, specifically DLSS 3, can't have a justification for specific cases. I think in this case it's more justifiable on the 70 class cards and below, because usually when you try to run games at 4K, if you want to have like single player, not how do I say it? If it's not like first person shooters, when you need some the less input, like the better. But for example, I don't know, maybe even racing games, but at least more. It's more about single players, non-competitive games. You can justify it DLSS 3 in 70 class cards or below. Above that, I don't see the justification for the DLSS 3, because usually at rasterizing and even to a certain extent in RT and ray tracing performance, they managed to get a decent job. But yeah, basically this is it. I advise you to wait, because AMD, is launching their new CPUs, the Non-X, I think, and the 3D cache ones for gamers. And I don't know exactly when their GPUs, the lower class GPUs, might come out, and I want to see if Intel brings their Battle Mage series or generation cards, to see if they can compete at least in the 70 class series, give or take, and the 7800 from AMD, I think. There is where the big battle will be drawn out, and see if there is like more value for the money. But yeah, for today, the 4070, I'm fed up with this marketing bullshit from Nvidia. But as I mentioned, we have AMD has their own issues, especially on their reference cards. I managed to talk about it a little bit here in previous videos, and for all the videos that I saw, and especially from the Bauer video, that he did a lot of testing, some extensive testing regarding the issues of hotspot temperatures reaching 110, and it's not like a rare case. There have been like hundreds of cases popping out here and there, just from his part, and a lot of people contacting other YouTuber reviewers because the reviewers didn't have any of those issues. And I think it's mainly because of the fact that that the first batch that it's made to guarantee that everything is in place to mass production, usually those cards are sent to the reviewers so they can start reviewing and have everything ready when the review embargo comes up. This video from the Bauer, I will leave a link on this video because it's go a little bit in depth how he does all the testing, and it seems to be really the at least the conclusion that they reach, it's the vapor chamber issue, and it's only for the reference card because the AIB cards don't seem to have this issue, at least from all the videos that I've been seeing. No AIB's issues here, so you are safe to buy those ones. At least at the moment it seems to be safe. These reference cards, even AMD is now starting to address this issue and recognize there is an issue. As it's the evaporator chamber, it's the vapor chamber. There is it's been quite like basically it reaches to a certain point that it vapor locks. So basically, when it reaches a certain temperature, it evaporates. The liquid evaporates, but afterwards it cannot condensate itself to reach again to the plate where is the contact on the dies. I don't know, I'm not a technician on this, but from what I can perceive, it's basically maybe a design flaw, or even like, for example, the pressure inside the chamber or the amount of liquid inside the chamber. I don't know very well, but they are at least recognizing the issue, which is okay. But I will get you to I will get you on this one when I have more information, because at the moment this is the information I can get. Okay, so let's start to bring you some good news here. I managed to miss out this one when I spoke about the Nvidia conference that they did, the live stream stuff they did. There is from the 30 and 40 series, they have the AI itself can now be have the thing that on Chromium Internet Explorers, so Chrome and Edge. The 1080p videos can now be upscaled basically to 4K, so it removes all the blur and smooth out the edges here. I think it's native on how it does it. I'm not sure if it's automatic with the drivers that you can install here. I'm not sure how it works, but supposedly the technology it's coming very close. But yeah, basically it's you have better quality videos on YouTube. It's the main take here that I get. More good news. I mentioned that we are going to start to see a lot of OLED monitors now. We saw the second half of 2022 some come out, but now we are seeing even besides OLEDs like 500 Hz monitors, especially from ASUS and it's a 1080p resolution. It's basically for competitive gaming. This is basically impossible to achieve in a single player 4K game, and I don't know how much this surpasses like even a lot of engine limitations in a lot of games. I can only see, I think Rainbow Six Siege is the only one that can reach this kind of thing. I don't know how game developers are going to have engines that achieve this high frame rates at 1080p, because usually they even like CPUs, because CPUs at 1080p do the heavy work and the heavy duty of bringing the frames, because they have to process the frames that the GPU is giving. I don't know how it's going to how long it's going to take for CPUs and GPUs to reach this kind of performance wise, but at least it's there. If you want to spend money on a 500 hertz monitor game, feel free to do so. But my main point is the OLED technology, because it's more faster. The speeds are way faster. The color accuracy is way better, and even for HDR content, it's more appropriate. The only thing that I don't like, and I don't know how much it's going to be solved, it's the burn-in issues. I don't know which kind of software implementations and hardware implementations going to do to avoid the burn-in issue. The Alienware that launched last year, they had like a 2-year warranty, but the fact that it has a warranty doesn't mean that the monitor will not burn in before those 2 years. But at least we are seeing more OLED monitors, which is good. It brings more competition in the monitor market, and hopefully we have like IPS monitors decreasing a little bit more, especially the 4K monitors, to see if they bring the prices a little bit down, because these ones from Acer, they have like the 40-inch panel with H800 arc curve, which is very aggressive, but they have like a cheaper 27 monitor, a flat screen. This 27 monitor is a 1440p, yeah, and also the 45 inch is a 4040 but ultra wide. They can reach very fast refresh rates. As I said, the prices will be around $1,000 because this new technology. Still, it's not. I don't think it's very expensive as implementation of technology. But we need to let it mature and let more monitors come out to have more competition, and eventually prices will drop a little bit more, and with that all the older technology per se, like IPS monitors and even TN panels, will start to drop, I think. But as you can see, $1,700 for a 45 monitor is a little bit expensive, but at least I think it's not that over expensive, at least my perception of the monitor market. But it's good news. We have more OLED monitors entering on the market, more competition, cheaper prices throughout this year. I think by the end of this year we have a lot of sufficient OLED monitors, so that the monitors itself can start being more competitive. Because competition in the free market, as we have, it's always good, because manufacturers will start to try to bring out better monitors for cheaper prices. It's the same thing as GPU and like everything else. Yeah, regarding hardware, this is it for today. I will try to, because they're coming out a lot of laptops from a lot of brands, because CES one day they focus more on one thing or another. There is like new GPUs for laptops, new CPUs for laptops, new monitors for laptops also, with OLED ones, different sizes now. I will try to condense all this information here and there to bring you some highlights, what they are trying to give regarding this new laptop stuff here, because it's PC hardware regardless. And also some CPUs from AMD, the Non-X and the 3D. I saw some interesting things. They are more, instead of the only one CPU, they are bringing 3 CPUs with a 3D cache technology, I will try to cover this tomorrow, more specific, so I didn't want to dilute in all of this rant with GPU stuff. I have some gaming news. There is like the Hitman free. They rebranded as World of Assassination, and basically it's going to encompass the trilogy, the I don't know, the rebooted trilogy. It's the better word that I have for this, and will include the content from 1 and 2 for free. So all the owners will get this one for free, and I assume that if you buy only the Hitman free, which is now sorry, the World of Assassination will include all of this immediately, I think. We'll be offering Hitman, which includes all this 23 for $40, and then someone this array of purchase options has now been reduced to 2. Okay. Yeah, but it's a good game. I never played too much Hitman. It's one game I'm always curious because how you go about it and basically try to puzzle out how you're going to do the missions itself. It's always interesting. I might get into this after I assemble my PC, hopefully in the near future, and dabble a little bit to see how it goes. Because I kind of like this kind of games, but I usually don't dabble too much because I get lost in RPGs like The Witcher 3 and Dark Souls. I get lost on those games and I then forget that we have these ones. Even XCOM games, I get lost on those. It's the most kind of it's the kind of games that I like the most. And to finish up, I have 3 games from Epic Stores. They are still the Dishonored Definitive Edition, which is basically with all the DLC. It's still available for free here on Epic Store. By the time this video launches, you should be able to get at least 8 hours until you to get this game, and afterwards they will come out the Shadow Tactics. It's like a standalone expansion for the game that they usually put this on free. Here, I've seen it at least 2 or 3 times since Epic Games start doing this, and I have it on my library here on Epic Games, and I will for sure will get this one and maybe give it a try on the game. The game itself is like the old Commando games. I remember playing like Commandos free. It's an interesting way to go about it gameplay wise. I might give it a go also. I like to try it out new games as much as I can. But basically this is it, guys. I will wrap up for today. I don't want to overextend too much here on my daily stuff. I will refer you to my GoGet funding for me to get to upgrade my PC to get better and more content for my private clients, and of course in my free spare time continue to do what I'm doing but with better quality, and also resuming my gameplay series that I always talk about. And with all that said, I hope you have a wonderful day. I will bring you more stuff tomorrow, and until the next one, Kunamy Master out.